Hello, I'm trying out the effects on my camera. This is the sheep effect. I like it. I look so cute. Good morning. Believe it or not, it is 9:30 in the morning and I have been up for an hour. So yay, I got up on time. I went to bed on time last night. Hooray for me. That's a victory right there. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how I got to this place where I'm home at 9:30 every morning. For those of you who don't know, I worked for a nonprofit organization called the Iowa Association of School Boards for about 9.5, almost 10 years. And I love IASB. The people are amazing. They're passionate. They are brilliant people and they love public education and they advocate for public education on all levels. But about 2 years ago, I ended up in a pretty nasty depression. And the good thing is, what came out of that depression was an understanding that, first of all, I was too busy. I was working 40 hours a week at my job. I was doing 20 to 25 hours a week volunteering at church. I had family obligations. I was living with a friend of mine, and so, there's spending time with her kids was a big deal, and spending time with her was a deal. And so there was just all this stuff. And so on the advice of my therapist, I made a list of all the things that I did or I wanted to do. And then I had to go through and figure out how much time I spent or wanted to spend on each of those things. So I put together this list of all the things I do or wanted to do. And it turns out that there's something like 163 hours in a week. That's just in a 7-day period, you have 163 hours. And I was trying to fit about 175, 180 hours worth of stuff into 163 hours of actual time. And so that was a primary issue. The other thing was when the next thing I had to do was prioritize all the things I did. My jobby-job, ended up like second to the last. The thing that I wanted to do the least was pay my bills. Obviously, I had to do those things. But it was pretty low on the totem pole. And so after much thought and reflection and prayer and talking with other people, I decided to take some action. I decided I was going to be self-employed. So I decided that what I would do was expand my piano lessons business. I had 4 students at the time, and I decided I would start working on getting more students. And I did the calculations and figured, I could get X number of students and that would give me enough money to get by. And so, continued to progress that way. So I left in July. Well, the thing was I couldn't get started right away because I ended up moving. So now it's been like 3.5 months that I've been technically self-employed, and I'm up to 8 students. I have another one that I'm working on getting a schedule in, and yeah, that's what I'm doing now. So that's what I have to talk about this morning. I may talk about some other things later. Yeah. I'm struggling this morning. Maybe I should have written this down. Hello, I am back in the kitchen. I just finished washing the dishes and cleaning off the counters, which was super exciting. And now I'm going to make myself some baked potato soup for lunch. So this morning I got tons done. It was a super productive day, which I love. In addition to getting this video started, I got emails sent out. I got scheduling done, a little bit of scheduling done for the praise band, the worship band at church. I got some emails sent out that needed to be sent out. What else did I do? Oh, I contacted a potential client. We've been going back and forth for several months and just have not gotten the time to get together and meet. So hopefully I'll be able to do that next week. I arranged a meeting with another musician for the praise team and rescheduled a coffee date with a friend of mine. And so yeah, it's been a good morning. I've been very pleased. So I'm gonna make some lunch, and then I haven't decided what I'm gonna do this afternoon. It's 11:30-ish. I do have to pack up a box to send to Sarah. I've got some things that I'm sending her. I'm very excited about. I'm sending her a shirt that is super awesome. I'll maybe show you that later. And then this cool little herb grinder or herb shredder herb thing that I got at the Pampered Chef party for her. And then I'm also sending her these. Ooh. These are called Deer Valley Cowboy Cookies, and they are amazing. And I think that's all I'm sending her. I'm also hoping I can go down to the studio this afternoon and do some work, so maybe I'll get some video down there. Other than that, that's been my morning. I have one lesson this afternoon, and then I have a meeting this evening at church. And so I did some prep work for that. That's the other thing I did. I did prep work for the meeting. I'm directing an Easter choir at our church, and so I did some scheduling for that. I've got the outline and the songs all picked, and I've got that all taken care of. So I just had to do the practice schedule and the announcement schedule, stuff like that, to get it rolling. So that's all ready. So our church is participating in a trunk or treat this year. Last year we did it at our church, and the last couple of years I think we've done it at our church. But this year we're actually going to be partnering with a couple other local community places. The trunk or treat's going to be held, I think, on Halloween at where's it held? At North High School, which is my alma mater. Go Polar Bears! Rawr. I don't know. But anyway, it's going to be held at North High School, and so my sister and I are trying to decide, what we want to do for a theme, and we're going to have 2 cars, so, we had some options. Last year we did fairy tales or Once Upon a Time, however you want to spin that. She was Little Red Riding Hood, and I was Elsa from Frozen. And, we decorated our cars, we had our little games and stuff. So this year we've been thinking, did we want to do Once Upon a Time again? It's a lot less work, blah, blah, blah. But the truth is it'd actually be as much or more work because we don't have some of the things that we had last year because we threw them away or we gave them away or whatever. So we got to thinking about it. We're like, okay, well, and a couple of years ago, we went to the Shakopee Ren Fair in Minnesota, and we went for steampunk weekend. And so we had our steampunk costumes and stuff, and we still have those. And so we decided that this year we're going steampunk. So not just steampunk, but steampunk authors. So she is going to be doing H.G. Wells's The Time Machine, and I am going to be doing Jules Verne's Around the World in 80 Days. So we've been talking about different ways we can decorate our cars, what we can do, to do that. We both have our costumes, so we don't have to worry about that, except I don't have a corset. When we went to the steampunk, I wore this vest that I made, and it was one of those things that you make on the spur of the moment because you don't have anything else. And it was just a cutout quick piece together. So I think I'm going to try and make myself a corset for this. I have the material, and I'm pretty sure I have all of the accoutrements that go with it. But so I've got to get that together. So maybe I'll do that this afternoon, maybe later this week. Other than that, it's just a going day. So I will talk at you guys later. Hello. So I'm leaving the house once again, although this is the second time I've left the house today, which is kind of new for me. The first time I left the house was for piano lessons, which actually started 15 minutes later than they normally do because my student didn't get there until 15
minutes after lessons were supposed to start. In fact, I was about to leave. So anyway, I left, went to my lesson, came back, and just finished doing dinner prep so Cassie can make dinner, so there will be dinner when I get home. I am now off to the worship board meeting for tonight. And hopefully that won't go terribly long. Ron's pretty good about, he's the guy who leads our meetings, and he's pretty good about not letting the meetings go on too long. So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm off to the meeting. I've got my computer, I've got all my stuff, so gonna do that, come back, eat some food, and then get to editing. So if I don't see you again before that, have a great rest of the day.